Hello, my name is Seth Beavers. I am a student at WGU, and this is a presentation for Introduction to Communications, task number 2. Today's presentation is going to be on barcodes, what they are, how they're used, and possibly how they're misused. You may be asking yourself, what is a barcode? Most people know what a barcode is. However, some do not. So, quick and simple, down and dirty. This is a barcode. This is a store-specific barcode. Where? This is an item-specific barcode from the manufacturer. The manufacturer produces this and puts it on the box. The store received the item and put their own barcode on. Not every store puts their own barcodes on, but some do to help with their inventory. So, why is this an issue, and why is it possibly becoming an issue? Well, on the diagram behind me, you can't see it really well in the light. This is essentially a quick breakdown of it. Shoplifting is here at 17%, which is the second highest form of theft. The diagram is a breakdown of larceny thefts for 2010. Shoplifting comes in at 17%, motor vehicles come in at 26%, and then there's a category that groups a lot of things together. This category here, which is 31%, but that's a combined of a lot of them. So these two, this one and this one, are our highest, with shoplifting being the second highest loss for thefts. It's a huge number. So, research suggests that retail stores and corporations should work towards developing new technology for their checkout systems to curb losses caused from certain types of theft, because the current technologies and systems in place are simply leading to continued theft and may potentially be encouraging theft. A lot of people don't realize that they've stolen until after they've left the store, when they've misused a barcode in one way or another. So, barcodes have been around since the 70s. As a matter of fact, June of 1974 to be a little more specific, but the production of the system came along a lot earlier than that. So at this point, we are still using a technology that is over 40 years old. Do you think there might be a chance that it's outdated and needs to be revised or even changed completely? Shoplifting is a crime that can involve the use of barcodes to accomplish a thief's agenda. What may be staggering to think about is that shoplifting only accounts for, as I said before, 17% of all theft crimes. Quick and simple. Possible ways to steal. If you could peel this barcode off of another item, take it and put it on another item that costs a lot more, all of a sudden you barcode swap. That's a crime. So, it is well known that the majority of retail stores use barcodes on every product they sell. This issue can pose a lot of challenges for fraud prevention and is not just a localized issue, but has become a global issue. Anytime a business becomes dependent on a singular mode of transactions, it only takes one crack to fail the whole system. If any system has multiple options or has redundant fail-safes or back checks, it becomes a lot harder to take the whole system down. If someone manages to crack one of the multiple systems, they then have only managed to crack a small portion. Wherein, if you have a singular system and someone cracks, the entire system is compromised. Even more important than securing a broken system is stopping fraud and the revolving door that shoplifting creates. The solution to a singular system doesn't have to be expensive or complicated. It can be inexpensive and easily adopted by most retailers around the world in a short amount of time. Almost every item produced these days comes with a barcode. The majority of barcodes used these days is a UPCA or an EA-IN code. The barcodes on the box I showed are UPCA codes. The codes that come on books are normally EA-IN codes. They're about the same size, same length, but they have a different coding system to them. We won't get into that today. We don't have the time. So the standard barcode you see on a gallon of milk at the back of a book, these barcodes have two integral flaws. First, they are easily replicated, and second, they don't have a fail-safe. One barcode is almost indistinguishable from another one, yet what is indistinguishable to the human eye can be the difference in thousands of dollars to a computer. There needs to be awareness to spot the differences and possibly a system to confirm the legitimacy of one barcode to another. Approximately 1 in 11 people, or 27 million people, shoplift in this nation. It comes from shoplifting statistics. I'll show my references at the end of the video, at the end of the presentation. The issue with barcodes and the ease at which they are defeated is that it leads to theft. Theft is habit forming, and once someone figures out how to do it, they tend to continue doing it until stopped. Shoplifting is more prominent at self-checkouts because people feel they aren't being watched, with an astounding 19% of shoplifters admitting to stealing from self-checkouts. That comes from self-checkout theft is habit forming. So basically what we've gathered is it's easy to do. Once it's done, it's hard to stop for some people. So there needs to be checks in place, and so that it can be, it's harder for people just to make it happen. Prime example, if you buy a TV has a barcode and it has a serial number. When you go to checkout, your barcode scans, gives you a price, and it's back checked with a serial number. They have to scan both barcodes at the register to create the transaction. If the serial number does not match with the barcode, the transaction is errored out until the problem is solved. So, retail stores and corporations should work towards the development of new technologies for their checkout systems rather than accepting their fate with shoplifting. Now that we have an understanding of what barcodes are and how they are used, it'll be a little bit easier to interact with them and potentially catch misuse of barcodes. With the knowledge that you have received in this presentation, you should be able to comprehend what a barcode is, how it is involved in your job criteria, and how they play a role in the checkout process of a purchase. Hopefully you now understand some of the vulnerabilities of this system and keep an eye out for potential fraud. The need to come up with an alternative checkout system that is harder to defeat and will attempt to calm theft being caused by barcode scams is becoming more and more pressing. We need to find a solution that will curb people's intentional and unintentional circumvention of the current cash register systems. Obviously, the conversion to an alternative barcode or checkout system won't be overnight, but it has the potential to save retailers a lot of money. The longer we wait, though, the more revenue retailers lose, and the more people that may fall into a vicious cycle of repetitious shoplifting. In the meantime, being aware and informed will help fraud prevention teams stop fraud that is currently happening. Obviously, shoplifting, this number right here at 17%, isn't only from barcode scans. It's also from people putting stuff in their pocket and whatever else. We can only attack one thing at a time, and I only have enough time in this video to cover one topic, and that's barcodes. Let me find a copy of my references for you. Here's a copy of my references. I appreciate your time today and hope that you're well informed on what barcodes are. Have a good day.